Today, let's talk about how can leaders learn to be vulnerable. As leaders, we are responsible to model the behavior that we expect from our teams. If we are not able to show our vulnerability and our emotional side of things, we can't expect anyone else in the team to show theirs. So the question then is, how can we be vulnerable as leaders? I believe there are a few things that we need to do in order for us to be vulnerable as a leader, right? So the first one is to develop self-awareness for ourselves as a leader. In order for us to be vulnerable, we need to know when we are struggling and what are we struggling with. We can develop this self-awareness by creating a space in our daily schedule to reflect on the day. We can reflect on what we struggled with, apart from things like what we learned, what we accomplished, etc. And if we do struggle with something, why are we struggling with it? And what is the underlying emotion? Whether it is frustration, fear, anger, sadness, overwhelm, or whatever else it is that we are experiencing right now. So once we have the awareness that we are struggling with something, the second step in being vulnerable is to share it with our team. As with everything else, it is important for us as leaders to first read the room and find out if there is anyone else who seems like they need some support and encouragement from us, who seem like they are struggling, and invite them to talk about what is it that they are struggling and, in a way, be vulnerable. Some people can naturally be vulnerable and it comes easy for them to share whatever it is that they are going through. Some people might not. That's okay, it's a journey. But once we have done that, once we have taken care of them, we can then share our emotions with the team. We could typically use the structure of, the following. Of late, I'm feeling dash, which is, overwhelm, stress, fear, anger, whatever it is that we are feeling. Due to or because of, what is it that is causing us this stress and this overwhelm or whatever is the emotion that we are sharing. And add any other relevant information to this sentence, whatever is needed to be added. We don't stop there. As leaders, when we are being vulnerable, it is also important to tell our team how can they help us. So what is our expectation? What is it that we want them to do after they hear from us about what we are feeling? Do we need them to just give us emotional support and just listen? Do we want them to offer help and support by picking up some of the work that is causing us overwhelm? Do we want them to pick up some part of our responsibility? If they can help with the emotion in any other way. What is important here is to have a very clear call out in terms of what help do we need from our team. Once they know that, they can then actually help us. If they don't know what we expect from them, how can they help us? And then there is no point of being emotionally vulnerable to your team if you are not willing to seek help. It's just then dumping of our emotions on our team if we do not have a very clear action or clear step or expectation that we might have from our team. So that's what we are not supposed to do, which is to dump our emotions on our colleagues. Or use this as a venting session to talk about what we are feeling and our overwhelm and our sadness and our anger or whatever else it is. If we are able to share our vulnerability and also are open to seeking help, it creates a culture where people are also open to being vulnerable about what they are going through, and also are open to seeking help. And once someone seeks help, it is then our responsibility as leaders to ensure that they get the help that they need. Sometimes it is up to us to decide and take action. Sometimes we allow the team to pitch in. The more the teams are able to pitch in for each other, the more stronger the bond is for the team members, for the colleagues. That's what is our responsibility, is to make sure that the team that we are leading, they are able to not only take care of themselves and their work, but also are able to take care of their colleagues. And it is our responsibility to ensure that we are able to take care of not only ourselves, but everyone else on our team. I call this being intentionally vulnerable as a leader. Take care.